Stark, the dream superhero of many people. I mean, who does not want to be a millionaire philanthropist playboy who has crazy tech suits that shoot lasers? Tony has had some excellent suits throughout his lifetime, but could he have better ones? Let's find out. Before we get into that, why not consider subscribing to our channel? We upload fresh content every other day. While you're at it, comment, share and ring that bell real hard. What comic book suits do you think would have helped Tony defeat Thanos? Comment down below. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Tony's armor has gone through a few upgrades from its rough caveman origins all the way to the nano suit that seemed to be able to do just about anything. But there are some suits from the comics that might have made things much easier for Tony. To understand things better, let's go back to the humble beginnings of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Once upon a time, there was a genius billionaire who was kidnapped by a terrorist group that wanted him to build a nuclear weapon. He instead built himself a suit of armor with flamethrowers and jets to escape their custody. This led to Iron Man becoming a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Since then, Tony has worked on improving the suit, mostly when it comes to suiting up. Iron Man 2, we saw that a suitcase turned into an armor, which was mainly made for portability. The suit took quite a few intense moments to come together, while a guy with arc reactor power whips tears apart your F1 car. Watch out, Tony. Later on, in the Avengers movie, Tony installed a self-dressing machine in his drinking room. Every room is Tony's drinking room, but for that to work, the villain had to let you monologue in your own house. Iron Man 3 tried a new suit delivery system while Civil War Tony was experimenting with wearing only the important parts of the suit. All of this led back to the magic triangle and the nanosuit of the Infinity War. Need more power? His feet can become a bigger rocket. Need more firepower? He can summon the thingies that jump out of his back and shoot massive lasers or whatever those things are. The nanosuit can also anchor the Titan's fist to the ground while pounding him with a haymaker. Although the nanosuit is amazing, it does not have the best track record. I mean, it couldn't stop Doctor Strange from being kidnapped. Even after all his tricks, Tony could only get a drop of blood out of Thanos. Now, let's shift over to the comic side. Since blasting out of a cave in 1963, Iron Man in the page of the comics has met more than a few high-level threats. The hallmark of Iron Man is that he will always build to the occasion. That means Tony has built many powerful suits. Now let's get into the first suit on our list from the Iron Man 2020 storyline. The hologram armor. Tony's 2020 isn't going any better than the rest of us, but Tony in his quarantine has done what he does best, build suits. To simply explain the complication, let me put it this way. Tony Stark has managed to erase his memory and then have it downloaded into a different body. I know this sounds a little confusing and insane, but stick with me here. Tony Stark's consciousness is a copy downloaded into a copy of Tony Stark that isn't just a clever AI that is convinced that he is Tony Stark. So Tony decides that he is not Tony but a convincing copy of Tony. All this led to Tony's long-lost young brother taking over both his company and his identity as Iron Man. This led to Tony thinking that he was an artificial intelligence hanging out in the holographic world. So Tony built a hologram armor. What problem did this solve, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Superheroes are dealing with masks and helmets all the time. When Iron Man is being played by a man as dynamic as Robert Downey Jr., the helmet blocks out the connection between him and the audience. But there is a bright side to all this. The hologram armor doesn't appear until something hits it, allowing us to enjoy those sweet RDJ expressions. Number 4. Iron Man Liquid Suit. Remember Venom, guys? Those Clintarian symbiote sentient beings that when once separated from the host become obsessed with Peter Parker. Since their introduction, the Venom and the symbiotes have really gotten around. At this point, it is easier to name those who haven't associated with Venom than who have. Not on purpose, of course. To do that, you need to be a little crazy. But wait, Tony is crazy. He is insane. So he went on and created his own liquidy suit in the Superior Iron Man comic. He psionically attached to the liquid metal suit like the T-1000 from the Terminator 2. The advantage of this suit over the nano suit is that it can increase in size. So, in case Banner loses his cool, Tony can upscale the suit as fast as Banner turning green. This lets him control things faster and more efficiently, not to mention the magnitude of Hulk smash. Speaking of smash that like button if you love Iron Man. Also smash that YouTube algorithm by subscribing and commenting as well. Coming back to the Hulkbuster, he need not call for Veronica to help him bulk up for Hulk. He can just instantaneously enlarge and control the threat. This suit is one of the coolest ever to come out of the comics. Number 3. The Bleeding Edge armor with the Uru upgrade. Speaking of the green monster, there are a few people that have experienced the Hulk firsthand. Those people can accurately explain how it feels being on the receiving end of the Hulk. A pair of Asgardians. Either of them are big fans. Asgardians are very familiar with big heads. Well, they also have their own way of dealing with big threats, and one of those ways is a special metal called Uru. Uru is the magic metal of the dwarves and the Davaliers, and the material that Thor's hammer is made out of. The speciality of this armor was that it was magic, much like Doctor Doom, who created a perfect blend between technology and magic that makes him so strong. Number 2. The Godbuster. Remember when I told you about Tony being convinced that he is an AI hanging out in the holographic world? Before he built the hologram suit, Tony built the Godbuster suit. We have had some suits that respond to Tony's thoughts and his imagination. But why just stop there? The Godbuster was built way beyond Tony's ability, exceeding his ample imagination. Tony realized the problem that's been bothering him for years. Once he creates something uses that thing against him in some or the other despicable way. So he blew up all his suits. His long-lost brother Arno that I told you about, he found fragments of this suit and recreated a new Godbuster that was full of new tech and gears. Considering Thanos and his power, Tony could have had some amount of help from the Godbuster armor. A Titan by himself is large and mighty thing to slay. Give the Titan 6 Infinity Stones and he becomes unstoppable. This leads us to the next armor. Number 1. The God Killer suit. This armor is not even Tony's design, but that doesn't mean that he didn't put on a little Tony touch to the armor. The armor was built by the aspirants to help them take on the Celestials. Who are the Celestials, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Celestials are super powerful beings in the universe of super powerful people. In the MCU, Peter Quill's dad is one, so is the Game Master, the being that held two of the most powerful Avengers as the gladiators. With that kind of power, even the Uru metal is not strong enough. You need something big, something celestially big. The God Killer is powered by 8 nuclear reactors on top of the repulsor technology. That should easily flip the tables in the battle between the Mad Titan and the Avengers. Not just easily overpowering Thanos, but the God Killer may also be a match for the mighty Galactus. The God Killer Mark II was up to the task, but unfortunately it was destroyed in the battle between the Celestials. If you know Tony, then you know that his armor gets destroyed quite a lot. But Comic Tony could have helped RDJ nonetheless. Not to mention, the arc for Tony Stark in the MCU was heartfelt and amazing, as a man who wouldn't sacrifice for anyone found a way to sacrifice. Well, we'll always have our RDJ Iron Man memories. You don't want to undo your noble sacrifice just for another dip in the pool, like the Terminator. Those are some of the suits that might have helped Tony have an edge on the Titan. Which suits would you like to have seen? Let us know down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share and comment on this video. Subscribe, or the next time someone snaps, you will disappear. I guarantee that. Goodbye and have a good day.